Welcome to the world of wireless IoT. My name is Niklas van Boxler and I am pleased to welcome you to the now already second season of the videocast Let's Talk Wireless IoT. I talk to sponsors and exhibitors of the event to find out what they have prepared for the exhibition and for the conference, how they are reacting to the current challenges and what they expect from the event. Today I talk to David Walker from Denso Wave Europe. Let's keep the introduction short, let's jump right in, and I'm looking forward to welcome you in person on the 19th and 20th of October in Wiesbaden, Germany. And now I would like to welcome David Walker. He's Business Development Manager EMEA at Denso Wave Europe, and I look forward to an informative, exciting talk about Denso Wave and what they will be presenting at the Wireless IoT Tomorrow 2022. David, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you, Nicholas. How are you?
I'm fine as well, and I'm very looking forward to our talk today to learn more about Denso Wave, what was going on over the last year's product solutions, what is prepared for the event in the end of October, and maybe some important information before we start our talk is that Denso Wave, since this year, is not only part of the event as an exhibitor, but also as a platinum sponsor and a main partner of the event. And I have to say that it is just great to have such a strong and innovative partner and sponsor on our side. So that said, David, should we make it quick and jump right into the first question?
Absolutely, why not?
All right, here it is. So Denso Wave has already been an exhibitor of the event since 2017. What expectations do you have for the Wireless IoT Tomorrow 2022?
Okay, so I guess a lot of people out there know Denso very much as being a hardware manufacturer. And over the last year, 18 months or so, we've been working really hard to transition our business from being a hardware manufacturer and sales organization to a much wider organization where we actively promote and sell through our partner network a complete range of end-to-end RFID solutions. And I think one of the main things that we're looking for from the show is to be able to engage with more and more potential customers and explain exactly what we can offer the entire market. We range across a really wide range of vertical markets, and being able to explain that we can offer end-to-end solutions across all of those verticals is something really important for us.
All right, well understood. So to make sure that the message is well understood, that's not only components or specific hardware that Denso is famous for, but more to offer, like you said, an end-to-end solution and make sure that everybody is well aware that if they are looking for an end-to-end solution, then the Wave is the right partner to connect with.
Indeed, I think what we're seeing in the market is that more and more customers do not want to go to a partner for hardware, a partner for software, a partner for consumables, a partner for integration. They want one partner to be able to basically coordinate and apply the entire solution for them. And that, of course, is where Denso now come in.
All right, so that's definitely a big advantage. So every customer has just one contact person where they are responsible for the whole chain, and it makes definitely sense that Denso is offering this solution to the most convenient way basically for end customers.
Yeah, and I think as well on top of all that, I think it's important to stress that we're not just whilst the show is about RFID and wireless Internet of Things, it's important to display the wide range of products and services that we have. You know, our products range from robotics all the way through securities, as well as, of course, of all the standard auto ID products and solutions.
Yeah, so a wide range of solutions and products. I can imagine that's maybe not that easy to come up with a quick boost concept because so much different parts has to be integrated, has to be represented, but we come back to that later on. I would already switch on to our second question and that would be, so right now we are in the middle of 2022. How has the year been for Denso Wave so far? And maybe to add a new part of this question, what challenges have you faced so far this year?
I think if we reverse that and we talk about the challenges, I guess for the first part, I think every single organization out there has suffered badly from the challenge of COVID. We haven't been able to get out and physically go meet our partners, our clients, our end customers in the way that we would like to. And I think for everybody out there, that's probably been the biggest challenge that most of us have actually encountered in all our careers. The way that most of us in this industry work is by going and working on a consultative kind of approach. And whilst online meetings are fantastic, there is no replacement for that physical one-to-one meeting where you can really get the best out of things. So I think that's the biggest challenge that we've had, is just not being able to get to see people.
Yeah.
In terms of the positives, since a lot of the blocks from COVID have been released, we've been able to get out to see customers much, much better. We've extended our range of partners across a huge range of vertical markets over the last year, which has taken us away from our core markets into a much, much wider range, and enables us now to approach many, many different verticals in a way that Denso have never been able to do before. So I think that proactivity over the last 12 months in particular has been really beneficial to Denso.
All right, so these huge impact that the corona pandemic had on, I think, nearly everybody, drove Denso to this, and in the end, like you mentioned, more positive outcome. Yeah, and just one question, like you said, it's so important to meet again, to meet with customers, to meet with partners, because it's more than just an exchange of simple information or complex information. It's just so much more. Would you agree with me that those meetings are now, after Corona, even more valued by both parties than they were before? Before it was just a natural thing to do, but now everybody is kind of more happy about it than before because they had, let's say, one and a half year of online meetings.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Nicholas. I think prior to COVID, we took things for granted. It was so easy to do things, and a lot of meetings, sometimes they were almost held almost just on a whim for no real reason. Whereas now every face-to-face meeting that we have is a real positive meeting, and we're getting some really good outcomes from them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one part that also drove us as event organizers to make sure that the people can meet at one point, and just talk, interact, generate new ideas, see what the other part has to tell. But especially in this year, basically right after the shock that most of us had with Corona, we face now new challenges. Let me say, like we saw problems in the logistic area, and we now see material shortages at one point. I think Denso is affected by that as well, right?
In some ways, yes, but I think to a lesser degree than many people. We're very fortunate that the strength of the organization at Denso reaches all the way back to the Toyota group. So our supply chain is intrinsically linked, and a lot of our products and solutions are intrinsically linked through the Denso corporations all the way up to Toyota. And that means that we've had fantastic buying power, and we've been able to facilitate the supply of chips and things like that, for example, which we know are in worldwide short supply. We haven't been too badly affected. And as a result of that, we've seen significant numbers of new partners coming to us because they've been unable to source product, and we've been able to fulfill their requirements at relatively short notice. So I think we've been very fortunate in that respect, that we've been able to ride through the shortages, and hopefully we'll continue to be able to do so.
Absolutely. I can fully understand that this is a very great advantage for customers or partners because a lot of companies are facing these issues, especially like you mentioned with chips or other material shortages, long deliver times, and this huge backup with the Toyota group makes it possible to just to fulfill the orders within a timely manner, and that's a great advantage that absolutely makes sense if you're looking for a solution today and not in 3 years. Yeah, okay, important, very important information. So let's move on to already the third question, because we were already talking about some products or materials. This year, Denso Wave has launched some new products, including the RMQA code and the BHT M70 handheld. Will you presenting both of these products on site at the RMCC at your booth as well?
So as you know, Denso Wave were the inventors of the QR code.
Right.
So the RMQR code, no, we won't be presenting it at the show simply because it's an add-on which is going to be available to everybody out there. We gave the QR code to the world free of charge. We don't make any money from the standard QR code, and this is a very similar kind of thing. The M70, yes, that will definitely be on show at the exhibition. It's a new product. It's ruggedized. It's really catered towards the transport and logistics market. So we'll take great joy at being able to present that at the show, along with all the rest of the products that we would normally present.
But to come back to the BHT M70, that will be definitely at the booth, right?
That definitely will, and will be showcased alongside all of our existing products. But I think we'll talk about it in a little while. I think people will be really interested in our booth this year.
All right, okay. So before we come to your booth concept, let's talk about other products that will be at the booth as well.
Okay, so we'll have our booth this year is very much about telling a story and taking you through a range of verticals. So we will have our Zone D, which is our security product, and that's designed to be on the show to show that as well as linking RFID and other technology into it, you can link other products together to provide a complete solution. So we will have Zone D. We will have our wireless internet, our IoT platform, Orion, on display, showing how we can link information from a range of different products into one platform to be able to give information from all those different products in a central, easily accessible, usable format. We're then going to be displaying a range of software solutions and the hardware solutions linked to them. You'll be able to see what happens when you take products through a dock door. We'll be looking at manufacturing processes. We'll be looking at warehousing solutions all the way through to retail. So we'll have a really wide range of barcoding solutions, RFID solutions, IoT platforms, pretty much everything. But this time, and this is where the huge advantage comes in, you'll be able to link them all together and walk through a full range of vertical markets.
All right, to make it even easier to understand, or let me put it this way, most of these cases we are talking about somehow complex solutions, but you basically break it down to the most important information and live on site at the booth to grab some products, to see it with yourself, to talk about the experts at the same time, to get all questions answered you maybe have. And when you get those information, just awesome and absolutely understandable with what you said in the beginning, to make sure to spread the message that's an end-to-end solution provider. And I think what you just said, this booth concept underlines it just perfectly, to walk through the different stages. I am already looking forward to see the booth on site, of course. I know the booth of Denso Wave. Last year, 2021, was also a pretty spectacular one, a really great booth. And yeah, what you told me now is making me even more excited for this year's booth. And we will make sure to send some information via social media on the construction day, maybe to offer some sneak peek and to make sure that these informations are widely spread. All right. So now we talked about your participation at an exhibitor on one side in the booth concept, but you're not only participating as an exhibitor, you're also part of the Wireless IoT Tomorrow conference as well, that will take place simultaneously in the same hall, easy accessible. In your specific case, I think maybe 50 meters away from the Denso Wave booth, so everything is very, very close. And my question would be, since you will be also part of the conference, what will you be presenting at the conference?
So we're very fortunate this year that one of our partners is going to be coming along to the show, and is actually going to be speaking on our behalf. So we've invited Gary Tattersall, who is the Managing Director Europe of RF Keeper, who is one of our key software partners. Yeah. Now, Gary is an exceptional speaker, and it's quite unusual because Gary, before his moving to RFID, was employed by Jack Wills as their loss prevention manager director. And he brings a whole range of wider knowledge. He can really talk about RFID and the solutions and the data used within that from a retailer's perspective. So Gary is going to talk about really what used to keep him awake at night as a retailer. So he's approaching this from completely the opposite direction to many other people. We're not approaching it from the provider's side of the table. Yeah. We're actually approaching it from the retailer's side of the table, so that people can clearly understand from a retailer's perspective everything that goes on within a retail organization and how RFID can help to solve some of those sleepless nights.
All right, you got me already pumped up for the lecture. I'm looking forward to it, and I will not miss it. That's for sure. But how you come up with the idea behind the lecture, or how you approach it, is definitely exactly what the whole event, basically what the whole coming together is about, and that is finding solutions for people. So exactly like you said, what is actually keeping you awake at night? What has to be solved to make your life easier, to make your business better, to use your resources in a more responsible way, maybe, or more effective, to just offer more services. I couldn't define it any better, and sounds very interesting. Looking forward to it, and it puts even a new area to the Denso Wave. So far we talked a lot about, for example, the security solution also on, and this will then mostly address retailers. All right. And you also answered my additional question as well, and that was who will be speaking. So we will release information about the speaker very soon on our website for everybody who is looking now for more information, for a quick introduction, and make sure to mark this lecture in your calendar and don't miss it if you're on site. Okay, so that brings me already to my fifth question today. It's like time's flying. And that's, what kind of interesting solution will you be presenting at your booth this year with your special booth concept? We already talked, you mentioned a lot of different application fields and solutions. Maybe you can say some words about one or two solutions that you would point out in particular.
So if we just backtrack a little bit as to why we've got the design of the booth that we're having this year. I've attended, over the last 12 months, I've probably attended maybe 12 different exhibitions. Yeah. And one of the things that was really clear to me was that when you go around exhibitions, booths tend to be very focused on one solution. Mm. And to actually gather all the information that you need for your businesses from a manufacturer all the way through to sales effectively, and to manage that supply chain all the way through, you need to engage with lots of different booths and lots of different suppliers at an exhibition.
Right.
And when you leave an exhibition, you tend to have a bag full of brochures and things like that. And it's kind of difficult once you've left the exhibition to try to figure out exactly who you saw, where, when, and for what. So what we've tried to do in this exhibition, in our booth, is to bring all that into one booth. So we've got a section which is about manufacturing, and we've got, for example, in there, we're going to have one of our small Kubotas picking and packing into tote boxes using RFID. On the tote box, we will have a new product to us, which is RFID e-paper. Okay, so many of us will have seen e-paper shelf edge pricing in many retailers, but we've taken that a stage further, and it's now become an RFID enabled product, which means that instead of having to use lots of different labels on products over and over again for RTIs and that kind of thing, now you can engage it with a single e-paper tag.
All right.
We're going to be looking at, in a warehouse environment, picking by light using our navigation tags. We're going to showcase our serial barcoding scanners, which enables you to sweep down a range of barcode labels and read them all in one go, instead of having to read one, then read two, then read three, then read four. So a real wide range of solutions in there. And then, of course, our software solutions, we'll be showcasing the RF Keeper solution. And we will probably have some asset tracking solution on there as well, because RF Keeper is really inventory focused across a range of industries, but inventory focused. Whereas clearly in other applications, there are requirements for asset tracking. So we'll have some asset tracking on there as well.
All right. So you're basically covering it all. So to make it short, you're covering it all, and on top of the already well-known Denso Wave quality, you also offer that the visitors don't have to do the work you just mentioned, to go through the bag, to recall all business cards, all meetings, all prospects, and bring it in order, connect them, all these kind of work. They can just visit the Denso Wave booth, and they get it at all in once. And that, I can imagine that makes your life pretty much easier than it was when you still had the bag full of information.
That's the plan.
All right. I think we got a good idea how many different solutions, application fields in focus, products, technologies, how much of that will be part of the Denso Wave booth. And I think we got our visitors a good picture. And please make sure to visit the Denso Wave booth and, of course, see it for yourself, see the solutions, see the information, and most important, talk to the experts on site. Ask questions, get in contact, find solutions, talk about specific problems maybe, and get more information. So that brings me already to my last question, David, and that's it. I have one last important one. What does the Wireless IoT Tomorrow 2022 mean for Denso Wave?
So as I mentioned earlier, I've probably visited in the region of about 12 exhibitions over the last 12 months or so, but many of them are very generic. The great thing about this show is that it is totally focused on RFID and wireless Internet of Things. So that means the people that are there are really focused on what they want to see, what they want to talk about. And that means that when we get clients on the booth, they're really looking for something which we can talk about and which is of interest. At most other exhibitions, you get a lot of people coming on, walking by and going, oh, no, that's not really for us. Every single person that will be at this show is going to be interested in talking about the products and solutions that we all have on offer and want to show. That's a real key thing for us, is that everybody there is going to be interested in what we have to say.
Absolutely. So the first step of thinking about how the business could be improved by using RFID or wireless IoT tomorrow, wireless IoT technologies, this step is already done. But if you get if you're looking for a solution and you are not 100% sure if it is RFID or it is some part of a wireless IoT technology, then this event is the perfect place for you as well. So meet the experts and they will take you by your hand and show you what is possible, to speak in a more picture way. But I well understood what you said, that is, and I really much appreciate it. And after our talk, after the information I got now from you, I'm very interested in not only meeting the booth, but also hear the lecture and talk to you in the end of October in Wiesbaden at the Wireless IoT Tomorrow 2022, David. I'm assuming you will be on site as well, right?
I will be there, indeed.
Perfect. So I'm looking forward to talk to you. Thank you very much for your time and the talk today, and see you soon.
My pleasure. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.